It's 8 o'clock in the morning here on Friday, June 15th, 2025. Already we're halfway through June. That can't be right. Maybe it is. Anyway, here we are. June 13th? I forget what day it is. Anyway, I'm here with the sheep and the cows. This is Friday, so we're going to move them in the afternoon to a new row, and that new row is going to be at the north end of the field. So we're going to traverse the entire pasture to bring them down to a new area. I just wanted to check to see if I had more calves. I don't think I do. I don't see any calves. Maybe there's some hiding among the sheep. Hello, Metal Tag. Right now it's about 70 degrees. It's nice. There's a nice wind blowing and everything. Yeah, I don't see any calves hiding among the sheep. Let's go look at the new calf then. Hello, new calf. Yeah, number 10 is watching me. What do you plan on doing to my calf? Nothing. I'm just looking. Those big, beautiful ears. I think it's fairly obvious this calf came from the other bull, the backup bull that I had. Just in case the new bull couldn't do his job. So I want to turn the bull onto the cows in July, but they're not giving me calves by then. Might even be too early for calves then, so maybe July and August, and then September I turned the old bull on just to clean up. I don't know. Look at that cat, the cow eating the horse nettle there. I think that's horse nettle at least. Yeah. Anyway, we didn't get much rain yesterday, just a little bit. Previous 2 days was like 4.5 inches of rain. The field is still wet, still a marsh. It'll take a while for it to go downstairs or dry up or whatever it does. So, yeah, number 20. You upset about something? How are you doing? You want to rub? Yeah? No? Yeah? Anyway, number 20 will be her second calf, and then not 412. Patches will have her first calf. Look at how big Blue is. Blue, your calf should be dropping any day now with teats like that, with an udder like that. Where's your calf? Oh, look at that. That's the calf poking out. Oh, I can feel him moving. You mind if I? Yeah, I can feel him moving in there. That's pretty cool. It's like a foot or something right there. Hopefully everything will go well with Blue. You know, yeah, Blue's ready to pop any moment here. Thinking of taking those rams to the sale barn. Probably should do it sooner rather than later. But this week is super busy with the opening of the restaurant. We're getting super close to being done with all the construction. I got all the major equipment purchased. Today we're going to go look at some tables at restaurants that are closing in the area. Hopefully get a good price on the tables and chairs. And then after that, let's see, electrical work is probably almost done. Plumbing work needs to be done, and that's going to take a day or two. And then from there, install the propane tank. One of the problems is the ground is too wet to install a propane tank. They need to get heavy equipment back behind the store, and it's not paved behind the store. It's just grass. So the guy said he's going to wait for 5 days of dry and then put it in. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been focused on, is getting that restaurant open. And I've been trying to not make work for myself at the field. So we took the chickens. I wanted to get that chicken coop done and start moving them in the field, but I was like, I don't have time for this. So I brought the chickens home temporarily, and they're doing just fine at home. The dog that I have is a rescue dog, and the reason why he was put in the shelter was because he's chasing chickens. But he's like 6 or 7 years old now, and we've trained him not to chase chickens. He's completely, like, I can bring a chicken straight to him and he doesn't even sniff it. You know, that poor lamb, back right hoof, that's the weather. I was wondering where the weather went. There he is. At least I hope it's a weather. Yeah, that's definitely a weather. So he's got a tender front right, left hoof and a tender back right hoof. So I'm going to keep the weather with the sheep to use to keep them cycling naturally. That way I don't hit the ram effect. But I kind of want to get in there and look at his hooves. So yeah, just the wet isn't good for the hooves. These sheep they're built for the desert, the dry, arid climate. You know, they're looking mighty fine though. Look at those sheep. They should be giving me lambs starting in August or thereabouts. So the way sheep work, at least in my experience, is they look like they're about ready to give birth, and then you get a lamb like a month later. So, you know, that's just kind of how they work. So there was a couple sheep I was looking at, I think last week, and I was like, are they getting ready to give birth? You know, but no, it was just them being sheep there. This is the one I think that had the really bad hoof. The back left hoof, I think it was. It got really long. And I don't think I told you guys this, but when I went to trim it, there was, you know, maggots and things like that in there. So I trimmed it back and cleaned it up as best I could, sprayed it down with copper sulfate. And you could see that she's just back. She's back in the game. You know, hoof looks perfectly normal. That copper sulfate really works. So somebody was asking if it might poison the sheep. And the answer to that question is sheep do need a little bit of copper. Every poison, every toxin has, they call it LD50, lethal dose 50%. So depending on how much you give, the LD50 says if you give that much, 50% of them die, right? But a lot of these poisons, quote unquote, are actually nutrients that they need, micronutrients, and copper is one of them. The sheep do need copper, they just can't handle a lot of it. So I think the channel that I like to watch, Alan Westerfield, he said that he took one of his dead sheep to an autopsy to figure out what happened. And the vet said, it looks like there's copper deficiency. So he actually feeds his sheep copper from time to time. I think he does a bolus where he shoves it down their throat. And it's just like it's a pill with copper wire inside, basically. That's all it is. And he does that because his field is low in copper to such a point that his sheep don't do well. So I haven't tested my sheep. I don't think I have a copper deficiency. I'm basically allowing the sheep to eat the same minerals that the cows eat, which reminds me I should put out some more salt for the sheep. The salt I bought mix-in bags, high in selenium, you know, so I need to be more diligent about getting that in front of the sheep. The cows like to eat it too, which is annoying. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys this beautiful morning. Have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.